Alright, so while we were on the blue Lakeway Transit bus, we stopped to get fuel, which caused us to have to sit here and wait for the next transit bus to show up because we just missed it because we had to stop for gas and then he had to go still to his stops, and so we're late. So we are going to see if we want anything off this jumbo box that I picked up at the gas station while we were there. Let's see what we got. Gotta get the numbers above it there. Gotta get the numbers right here too so we can see what the numbers are. Alright, so we got a 30 and a 23. Keep scratching. And a 12 and an 11 and an 18. Alright. Then we got a 13 and a 29, 16, 14, and a 15. Alright, now we're going to scratch off over here and we're going to see if we want anything. And our magic numbers, it's 21 and 17, and we have neither of them. So not only do we get to sit here and wait for this transit bus to show up, hopefully it's a 30-minute interval and not an hour interval, because there's nowhere to record around here. I wish there was. I don't know, maybe we'll go find something to do. Let's I don't know. We'll find out. So what I did find out, let me fill you in on this. What I did find out, so from the first transit bus that we got onto, spoke to the gentleman that was driving, and I had asked him if he was a city employee, and he said he was not. I did speak to the second one when we were at the gas station. That's why it wasn't caught on recording, and he said that they were a city employee. And the reason why, I asked that is because if they're government employees and versus public employees or private employees, it's totally different. So I knew that the city was involved in this Lakeway transit system, and this government service tag definitely tells you 100% that it is a government entity, that they do have something into it, and that, so we got Lakeway Transit Transportation Employees, Bus Parking Only, East Tennessee Human Resource Agency. So that makes a huge difference, that this is all government. Therefore, any information in regards to Lakeway Transit can be requested. Service records, profit and loss, all of that information is available to anybody who wants it. And you can get that information. But so they are within the city of Morristown. They are government employees, which makes this section of the building, parking area, public property. So we could actually go out over here and do a little bit of recording. And there's not a whole lot that even the stores right next to it can say, because that would be a restriction of my freedom to be able to record in public property. So we got Lakeway Transit and the East Tennessee Human Resource Agency next to the Dollar General. We're gonna take a walk up in there into the office and see what's going on in here. So you can also come in here and sit down while you're waiting for the bus. So I guess you don't have to wait outside. Labor law signs. And then here's another proof that shows that they're a government entity. Minimum probation requirements.
You guys hear about the transit system?
Oh yeah, the guy got us here late to get onto the next bus, so we've got a little bit of time to just hang out.
Oh, well, over here, this is actually where people buy their bus passes.
Okay, yeah.
We kind of share an office with probations.
Oh, okay. Is that what that is over there?
Yes.
I was wondering why it said a probation sign. I was like, oh, I was like, that's a little odd to have.
So over here is where people buy their bus passes and get their fare pass IDs made. So that's what the blue screen is for.
Okay.
So if someone is 65 or older or disabled or a military veteran, they can qualify for the half fare. So instead of paying $1.50 a ride, they can pay 75 cents to ride, or they can get the monthly pass for $20 instead of $40. So
Okay.
we've got all of our fare information and our route maps over there as well. So
All right. The only place I saw a map like this was in front of the health department. Is that the only place that actually has a?
yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure. Have you been to the Walter State yet? We've got a shelter there as well.
We did, but by the time we turned and I noticed it was there, I couldn't get a picture of the wall or see that side of it. So I don't know if it was there or not.
All right, and we've also got a shelter at VBI, Volunteer Blind Industries.
Okay, which I haven't been there yet. That'll be, I guess, green, right? That's our next one, green. Okay.
And we are looking to put more shelters in, but those shelters are very expensive.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
So we're kind of waiting to see where we're getting a lot of people who are waiting to catch the bus before we choose more places to put those in.
Okay.
They're also outfitted with solar lights.
Okay.
So, at night it will light up. So, it's kind of added safety features too. So
Even though you all stop at 5.
even though we stop at 5, well, no, we stop at 6.
6. Okay.
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Are you waiting now? No. Okay. All right. So we were late because somebody didn't put fuel in the bus yesterday, so we had to stop for fuel.
Oh.
So he had to go out of his route to get fuel and then come back. And as we passed by, the other 2 buses were sitting here next to the building. By the time we got around, they were gone. So I had asked him about getting dropped off at the health department, and he said that there would have been another fee for that. So is the bus just from one point to another? So if I were to stay on that bus every time it got here, it'd be another $2, or how does that work?
It'd be another, well, it's $1.50 for adults to ride each way.
Well, I thought it was $2. We paid $2 this morning.
That was probably for you and for him.
Well, he's 11, so he's free anyways, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we gave it to him. He won't see it though. All right. Okay. So you just get to this point here, and then you gotta pay
Right.
to get on it again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I've probably got 50 cents I can give you.
No, it's all right. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay.
We're just trying to get things started, so.
I know. See, I have don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's on there. Somebody else can use it down the road. But yeah, because I have a bus that actually comes by my house every day.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of noticed that like once or twice there was actually one person on there. Yeah. So I was like, the kids are out of school today and stuff, and my oldest didn't want to ride, and he was like, I'll go. So I figured a nice day out. We'll take a ride and we'll go check it out and see what, where it goes and so on and so forth. And because not until you get a bunch of people to ride the bus, you're not making no money on it at all, right? Because like he stopped for fuel, it was like $85. Yeah. Said he goes through about a half a tank a day, so you're looking at $40 a day just in fuel, plus whatever the guy gets paid. I mean, I'm not even gonna whatever, plus the wear and tear, plus the insurance, and so it's costly. I mean, it's got to cost you at least $250 a day to run a bus, right? So without getting enough people on that to offset that a little bit, and you got 3 routes, so you're looking at $750 a day, right? Plus you in this office, and so let's just say $1,000 a day is what it needs to be able to run this and not have a negative balance on it. So y'all need to definitely. What's the anticipated long run figure on when you're going to start making actually money? Do they have that in? Have they figured that out?
Well, I'm kind of trying to work on that now. Channel 7 came out last week and did an interview, and they just got that edited and posted it today on their Facebook channel and YouTube. I've done interviews on WCRK and WMTN, so we're trying to get the word out as much as we can, but I think COVID has kind of hurt a little bit. Trying to get out to some community events and let people know about our routes and how they run, where our stops are, and I know that's kind of a big challenge right now because people have to learn where to catch the bus. And you can say Crockett Trace Drive, but that's a whole road. So you have to learn exactly where to catch the bus at.
Sure.
So,
and I hope we can get that word out to people, and by them actually being able to ride the bus kind of and seeing where things are and where to get off and how to jump from one and one the other, we'll be able to take this and then walk to someplace else, because I mean really it's just a circle, right? So I mean you get off one place and walk across Morris Boulevard to the mall, right? So you don't have to wait to get on that tram. So hopefully maybe this will help out.
And we're trying to add new stops as we go along too, because we've had people who have called and requested stops that could be added along current routes, and we've also had requests for stops along routes that we may add on in the future, and we are hoping to be able to do that. But first we do have to start getting people riding the bus before we can look at adding more routes. Because of course this is also funded through the Federal Transit Administration, so you have to do all the studies that go along with that to actually show people are going to be riding on this route, and that you're serving the population equally. So.
Right. Not just 5 different people that need to get to work or something like that. Right. I understand that. Okay.
Has anyone given you the map?
A map? I looked at it online, but I'll be more than happy to hold it up and.
So this shows all of our routes that we currently have. You can take that with you if you would like.
All right.
On the other side,
we are right here. Earlier today, we started right there, and we took that all the way around, and then we just took this one this way, the blue. So now y'all know where we're going to be headed next. And then he said, flip the page over. Okay, there's our fares. Okay, so adults $1.50, children are 75 cents, and that's 12 and under are free, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's 12 and under are free. Then students eligible to local colleges and trade schools are also 75 cents. Disabilities 65 plus. Military veterans are 75 cents. Transfers are 50. Demand response, that's to your house, right?
Yes.
It's $3. So is it $3 plus the additional whatever it is,
No.
or does?
It's $3 for them to pick you up, and then $3 to take you back home.
Okay, and where do they take you to?
Well, that's why it's demand response. So if you need to go someplace that is off the route and you have a disability that prevents you from using the fixed route, that's when the demand response vehicle can come out and pick you up at your home and take you where you need to go.
Okay, so they'll take you wherever you need to go, pretty much.
Yeah, within the Lakeway area. If you need to go outside the Lakeway area, then it would be an ethra transport.
Hey, that sounds cheap. For $3, I mean,
Well, if you had to go outside this area, though, then it's $3 for it's by county.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Still, that's cheap. I mean,
is
you ain't gonna get nothing for that.
No, it's way cheaper than taking a cab or an Uber.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
So then you could get a bus pass for a month. Adults are 40, children are 20, students are 20, and persons with disability and 65 over military for 20. So y'all can't beat that, just to get around town and even just to take a cruise out. Here's your different little routes. As you can see, all of them go to the health department, and they all also come here. So those are 2 places that you can make your transfers. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I thank you very much,
Well, thank you very much, too.
and hopefully y'all will get a good response and
I hope so.
start keeping those people busy out there. So, how do we make recommendations on where stops go or what stops get removed or?
Let me give you a card. So, this is the number that they would call to contact me if they have recommendations for stops along current routes or future routes. And I'm basically keeping a spreadsheet of suggested stops along the routes that we have now, as well as suggested stops along any future routes that we can add. So,
Okay, all right. There's that one sign that's next to Big Lots. We've been by there twice with 2 different drivers, and they both hate that. and I agree.
I know.
On that hill like that. I mean, especially because
I do too.
I drive a big truck with a trailer. So if I'm coming up that hill at 35 and somebody slams on their brakes, there's a good chance that we're going to be meeting each other.
I completely understand. I've spoken with several drivers about that as well. I know that's not exactly the ideal place for a stop, but we have to take into account city utility lines that run under the roads, because we can't have a stop blocking utility lines. And working with other companies, on private property, it's very tricky. So trying to find places that we can have stops, that's really something that we've had to work closely with the city on. And that is a stop that has brought up several concerns, and yeah, we've been discussing the options for that. But it would be much safer if we could pull onto the parking lot and load people, but that's private property, and unless we're given permission to do that, we can't.
Right.
We've also had the same questions about Walmart and the mall. Also, it's private property, so we have to have their permission to have our buses have a stop, on their property.
Right, because Walmart owns all of that
Yes.
right there, the whole area.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And the mall actually owns the road that goes around the mall, too.
Yeah, right. People think that just because they drive on it and it's now a cut route, but it is actually private property.
It is private property, yes.
Okay, all right, cool.
But we are still working with those companies to try to find a better solution for riders, because these are all businesses. They do want people to be able to get there to spend their money, and we're trying to help people get there at an affordable cost.
Yeah.
So we are still working on getting those agreements in place.
Okay.
But a lot of that is corporate stuff that people far away from here would have to approve of.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, when you grow, you got to go slow, and there is a lot of red tape and lines, and you got to follow this and that and the other and get permission. But you would think that these stores would want people there and accessibility. I mean, Food City is dropped off right there, right? And I mean, I'm sure people would go there eventually to Food City and shop there just because there's a route direct.
Yes.
I mean, that makes sense. So.
And our local people, for the most part, have been very supportive. Like, I know the local people at the mall, they've been very supportive of this, but the corporate office is located, I believe, in New York, so that's where they have to approve of it.
Okay, and they're not familiar with our area at all, and a lot of times that's the way it ends up working. They don't. They look at it on a map on Google or whatever, and they're like, oh well, this this works, this doesn't work, and so on and so forth. Okay, all right. Is there an actual drop off right there at the mall?
No, there is not.
Okay, so you just drive through there.
Oh, we can't drive through there because that's a private road. We drive.
Yeah, that's right. We went up and
Closest we can
up
get
and
is
around it.
On Drive, and then the stop at Walter State is as close as we can get for the moment.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember we ended up going back around and back around instead of just because I was wondering how come he making this circle.
No.
That makes sense right there. Okay. All right, that makes sense. All right. Well, let's look at this map over here and find out how much longer we got until we get picked up. All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. What's the name of your channel?
Lakeway Audits.
Lakeway Audits. Okay.
All right. So we are going to be going this way. So no green. Yeah, green. We want green. And it's gonna be at the hub. I don't even know what time it is. 3:30. So 3:30. They'll be back here at 4 o'clock. So we got about another 30 minutes to hang out, and that's all because we were 2 minutes late for being here. So. If you're on that bus and people are slow getting on or off, either give them a hand or give them the boot. That way you don't miss your transfer. All right, well. Oh, we got one pulling in now I don't recognize that guy, so not unless they switched. We'll have to see, maybe we got to hang out here for 30 minutes. So this is the Tennessee Department of Corrections for misdemeanor. Back over here, I want to finish looking at this thing. For minimum probation requirements, court costs and fines must be paid on every month. You must provide a copy of your court receipt for your probation officer. Supervision fees of $45 per month must be paid every month. You must keep your scheduled appointment with your probation. You must pass random drug screens, obtain employment. DUI classes must be completed. Yeah.
Crazy. You've seen them, man. It's probably pretty hot out there.
So this is misdemeanor probation. Pretty big office. Well, I guess people can at least get a ride to the probation officer. That won't be an excuse that they have. All right, well, let's go outside. See what transit bus that was.
I'll get the jacket.
People in need. Well, they must have parked. I think it was, no. These same buses were here. Maybe they just drove by. Didn't really catch them. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and end this one. We went in there, that had an interview and a little walk around. And then you'll have part 4 coming up.